I would like to thank Coca 2005 for sending me this story. If y'all don't remember, I actually spoke about this couple, I believe, sometime last year. It had to be sometime last year when I spoke about them. This is the couple that took in a, I believe the girl is from she's from Africa. I forgot what country it is, but I'm sure when I read the article I'll find out. And they basically turned her into a slave for 16 years. Doing basically in-house enslavement, and they most likely torture her at the same time. But both of these individuals have been found guilty of their crime, and they have both been sentenced to 7 years for the crimes they committed. To be honest, they should have got way more considering they had this girl enslaved for 16 years. But let me go ahead and read this update. A suburban Texas couple was sentenced to prison for forcing a young African girl who they referred to as a dog to work for them for 16 years as a domestic slave. Mohamed Toure and Denise Cros Toure, both 58, were ordered Monday in Fort Worth, Texas, to serve 7 years each in prison and pay nearly $300,000 in restitution. The Southlake couple arranged for the girl, who didn't speak English, to travel from her rural Republic of Guinea village to their home, where she worked for them without pay or educational opportunities. For more than a decade, the young girl was required to clean, cook, mow the lawn, and take care of the couple's 5 children. Officials said the Tourés often referred to the girl as a slave, idiot, and dog. They also neglected and physically abused the child, including several occasions when the wife choked her. With the help of neighbors, the girl was able to escape and alert authorities in August 2016. Mohammed and his wife were then convicted in January of forced labor, conspiracy to harbor an alien, and alien harboring. I hope that today's sentence brings a measure of justice and healing to the victim, who suffered untold trauma as a result of the defendant's heinous crimes. The defendants stole her childhood and her labor for years, enriching themselves while leaving her with pain in an uncertain future. An attorney for the couple said they are exploring an appeal for the conviction. They don't need no goddamn appeal. They need more time behind bars for what they did to this girl. They basically took advantage of this young girl. This girl was basically like taken away from her family if she wasn't abandoned already. What if this girl did have a family back home and she couldn't have any contact with them? And I think she did have family back home, and she did not have any contact with them after she came to the States, because they basically cut off all connection with her family back in Africa. Like, those of you who have been around my page for a while remember when I talked about this particular story. Like, this is some sad ass shit. Because she didn't deserve to go there for 16 years. They made her a slave for 16 years and abused her. She was called a dog. She was called a slave and an idiot, and had to be forced to raise their 5 children. So that just shows that they're just bad parents all the way around, just bad people, period. And if you look at the 2 individuals right here, they aren't white, but they sure are acting like massa through and through. They took advantage of her because they saw how easy it was. They knew they couldn't get that with an Americanized person, because I don't think they would have fell for it. So they went for someone who they saw as naive. Now, I don't know at what age they actually captured the girl, because it says 16 years, but it doesn't specify what age she was brought over to have to do this forced labor for them. But that's messed up, because she lost out on the line. I think they said that she lost out on the childhood. So she was a minor when they did that. So that's basically also a huge violation of child labor laws. Because she wasn't old enough to have a job. Not saying what she was doing was a job. This wouldn't even be looked at as a hobby. But it's messed up, and I hope that she's able to, seek the help that she can, because she's going to need a lot of it after having to deal with that for damn near 2 decades. And these 2, they, in my opinion, deserve way more than 7 years. And they have, and also, in my opinion, they need to pay out way more than $300,000 in restitution. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments, and I'll talk to you in the next one.